Ms. Greene, did you advocate to President Trump to impose martial law as a way to remain in power?
I don't recall.
Yeah, so you're not denying you did it, you just don't remember.
I don't remember.
As I said, she claimed she suffered from CRS, can't remember ish. But we decoded it. I told you. Anytime she says I can't remember, that meant the answer was yes, okay? But she's afraid to stand by her own sentiment. I mean, if you're a true believer, Marjorie Taylor Greene, this is a simple question. We now have the evidence, proof is out. CNN obtained 2,319 text messages from the former White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, in the news again, sent between Election Day 2020 and Biden's inauguration. The never before seen text messages include messages from just about everyone you'd expect, all right? More specifically, members of Congress and Marjorie Taylor Greene included. The court testimony on Friday, the Georgia Republican repeatedly deflected or said she did not remember what she had said around the events of January 6th. The Meadows text logs after a new glimpse into what she was telling the White House Chief of Staff in real time says something very different, all right? So on December 31st, Greene reached out to Meadows for advice about how to prepare for objections to certify the election, okay? They're trying to overthrow democracy. And once again, the Chief of Staff is the point person. Why is he the point person? Because he's the closest person in communication hierarchy with Donald Trump. Understand this. That's why he's the point person, okay? So December 31st, let's put it up, 2020, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene to Mark Meadows said, "Good morning, Mark. I'm here in DC. We have to get organized for the 6th. I would like to meet with Rudy Giuliani again. We didn't get to speak with him long. Also, anyone who can help. We are getting a lot of members on board, and we need to lay out the best case for each state. I'll be over at CPI this afternoon." Meadows doesn't appear to respond, but let's skip ahead to January 17th when Greene was suggesting other ways to handle this. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene said to Mark Meadows, "In our private chat with only members, several are saying the only way to save our republic is for Trump to call for martial law. I don't know on these things. I just want you to tell them. They stole this election. We all know. They will destroy our country next. Please tell him to declassify as much as possible so we can go after Biden and anyone else." Once again, Meadows actually does not respond. Now, Friday, Greene was asked about this text message. Let's play it again.
Ms. Greene, did you advocate to President Trump to impose martial law as a way to remain in power?
I don't recall.
Yeah, so you're not denying you did it, you just don't remember.
I don't remember.
Lies. Let's rewind back to January 6th, okay? The texts include everything from plans to fight the election result to surprising and unexpected reactions on January 6th from some of Trump's allies. At 2:28 p.m., Greene texted Meadows with a plea for help as the violence was unfolding at the Capitol. So this is what she said to Mark Meadows in another text. "Mark, I was just told there was an active shooter on the first floor of the Capitol. Please tell the president to calm. This isn't the way to solve anything." Once again, Marjorie Taylor Greene, you helped create it. Your rhetoric, your lies, your influence created this atmosphere. Meadows, once again, does not appear to reply. The texts also show how Trump allies were quick to craft a counter narrative for January 6th, an action taken shortly after the terrorist attackers breached the Capitol. Trump allies in Congress appeared to get the message with Greene at about 3:52 p.m. Here's the text message. All right, we got it. "Mark, we don't think these attackers are our people. We think they are Antifa, wink, wink, dressed like Trump supporters. See what they're doing here, right? Okay. They are talking in code out loud. Mark, these are Antifa people, all right, with Trump gear on. That's what's happening here, Mark. All right, you follow me, Mark? All right, shake your head. Let me know that you're with the conspiracy. And then they decided to spin that false narrative. It got picked up by the usual cronies, Tucker Carlson and others. Insanity, right? But real. They tried to steal democracy. They tried to overthrow the government. They tried to shred the US Constitution. They violated the law. They violated decency. They violated order, but they called themselves patriots. Patriots of what? Not patriots of a country that is supposed to grow into a more diverse and fair nation, but patriots to an idea of white supremacy and white power structures. That's the only damn thing they respect. Adrienne, thoughts on this?
Okay, so my thoughts on Marjorie Taylor Greene sending those messages to Meadows. What she was doing initially was too specific and putting it in writing, and that's why Meadows wasn't responding.
That's
and
correct.
So there's probably a call log showing that Meadows would call her at some point and say, stop putting this in writing. And that's why all of a sudden you get, there's an active shooter, oh my goodness, because she needs to now reframe what she said so she can pretend not to be a part of it. And that's why she's sending these almost wink, wink to try to dispel what she had previously text him. Because if you notice, a lot of the other text messages that Meadows received that he actually did respond or acknowledge were not as cogent and not as clear and direct to the point as Marjorie Taylor Greene's were. And so, yeah, I'm sure, because this is just how you'd work it if you were gonna work the system, knowing that there's potential that those text messages could get out. Yep. So that's what I see happen, and I wouldn't be surprised if there is a call log showing Meadows calling her at some point, and then she switches kind of her narrative.
Yeah.
But either way, it's like she sat there in front and testified saying she didn't remember it. And that is also the way to handle it in the event that you do not want to be hit with a perjury charge later on, but you do not necessarily want to admit to engaging in that behavior on the stand, just feign ignorance.
Yeah, and she misspelled Marshall.
Oh yeah, she did.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens out of this. Remember, Meadows and a group, they were involved in a scheme that had burner phones. So Meadows may have called her from a burner phone after she sent him this text message. We don't know, but as I said before, the only people that still use burner phones are drug dealers and folks that work for Donald Trump. All right.